What's going on, guys? Gabe with ReviewDork, and it's Hannibal Lecter knife time because we have another unboxing. Again, shout out to Cone Knives. And hey, buddy, if you watch this video and you have a website, send me the link so I can link it down in the description. Hopefully, we have some ambitious Hannibal Lecters out there, but yeah, ReviewDork knife in full effect. Let's go ahead and unbox this. And Dell, I've always had this issue with Dell that their boxings, it's for a 1300, that's what I paid for this laptop, guys, $1,303. But when you spend that kind of money, you want better presentation on the box. I don't know, presentation does matter. This is a very simple unboxing. We have the power brick. I believe this is a 240 watt power brick. If you guys want to win this system, because we give every system we review away. Joshi, congratulations, you received the Asus ROG G14. I believe we do have a video clip of that happening. Abajax, we got a video clip?
We do.
All right, cool. We'll see if we can get that video clip playing maybe right about now.
Thank you, Gabe.
Congratulations to Joshi, who won the Asus ROG G14. You also can win this Dell by leaving a funny comment down below in this video and in the upcoming video where we put the Dell G5 head-to-head with the HP Omen 15, which happens to be my favorite laptop in this studio right now, but we don't know. We're going to put it head-to-head. We're going to do the benchmarks. We're going to compare Cinebench. We're going to compare all the benchmarks from Gears 5 and Forza 4. We're going to see how many frames this device can push, and then we're going to check its thermals, because thermals are super important. We're going to see if this Intel Core i7 does any throttling. That's super important. But again, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and leave a funny comment down below. This is how you win this stuff. I really enjoy reading some of these comments. They're absolutely hilarious. And guys, after you watch this video, feel free to go through the comments. I promise you, we got some really creative people out there. Okay, in this system, we have a Core i7-10750H with 6 cores, 12 threads, a base clock of 2.6 gigs, and a max turbo of 5 gigs. Now, what does that mean? That means one CPU core can turbo all the way to a 5 gigahertz frequency, and this is important for gamers. Now, keep in mind, I am an AMD fan, and I tend to prefer AMD CPUs, but Intel, well, yeah, gamers like Intel for that single core performance, because that's what matters in gaming. There's very few games out there that utilize multi-core, so yeah, single core performance of 5 gigs, it's going to get the job done. Also, in this system, we have an Nvidia Rtx 2060, and this is not a Max-Q design, this is a full-size 2060. And this is important because what we've learned with Max-Q designs is you're going to get a 20 to 30% performance hit when compared to a full-size GPU. So a 2060 Max-Q is not as powerful as a 2060 Max-P. So what you find OEMs doing is including the Max-P designation if it's max power, or no designation at all. Max-Q is going to tell you, hey, it's throttled a little bit. It's not full power. You're not going to get the full frames out of this. So a full-size 2060, lots of respect in this Dell. We're going to talk about the Hinge really quick. And Dell does some of the best hinges in the game, and if you have any doubt about that, you can go ahead and check out some reviews on the Dell XPS 15. Now, the user inputs and outputs, we're going to get through this. We're going to do this really quickly. On the right hand side, we have 2 USB Type A's, we have an SD card reader, and a headphone jack. On the left hand side, we have a mini display port, an HDMI port, RJ45, and a Thunderbolt port. I also think I skipped the USB Type A port there, but we got that covered. Now, what you're not going to find in AMD powered laptops, the Thunderbolt port. You're going to find that in Intel. So if high transfer rates, high transfer speeds, if you need Thunderbolt, yeah, you're going to get it with Intel, and that's fine. On deck, we have the number key, and we got the 10 key here, and the button press, I have to say, it's reminiscent of the ROG G14. It's purposeful, it's tactile, there's decent amount of travel, but that space button is just absolutely horrid. It's a gaming laptop, but it doesn't scream, "I'm a gamer." It doesn't make you look immature. It makes you look like you just have a Dell. And Dell makes that very obvious back here. And the trackpad is really soft. It almost feels like polished clay. I don't know if that's a good description, but it's smooth. And again, Dell really does amazing jobs with their trackpads, and so this feels really smooth. We're gonna get this booted up. Now, keep in mind, this is a 15-inch display, or 15.6-inch. We have 144 Hz refresh rate on this system, and yeah, there are higher refresh rates, 300 Hz refresh rates, and I'm saying to myself, well, that's absolutely overkill because your graphics card is not going to push that kind of FPS. This also has a non-glossy finish, so we get that light off of here, and you can see it's not too reflective. It has a somewhat of a matte finish, and with a 300 nit peak brightness, you're going to be able to game on pretty much any and every environment. This is also a 6-pound beast. I don't know if you want 6 pounds plus whatever this weighs on your shoulder. You're gonna inadvertently build some shoulder trapezoid, and it's not gonna look right? Because it's all this. It's just one side. So, you know, focus on symmetry, guys. Focus on symmetry. Okay, underneath we have some ventilation. Again, nothing like the HP Omen, but we do see some vents there. And when we compare this to the HP Omen, we are going to run it through the lava index. Oh yeah, we're gonna light this baby on fire. We're gonna see if we got some turbo thrusters, because we also have some exhaust back here, which is really important for a system with a full-size GPU. You need to be able to dissipate that heat. Now the finish, we got this in black and it's got some sparklies on it. I'm not sure if I'm a fan of that, but I can tell you the flex isn't nearly as bad. It is not as bad as the HP Omen, although that was not a deal breaker for me, but this does not have nearly as much flex. Okay, so we opened up the system. You guys can see this here. Now this strip, I don't know if you guys could see this on camera, but that strip is meant to power this LED here, okay? So we're gonna see what that looks like when we power it on. Up top, you guys can see we have a 60 watt-hour 4-cell battery. We have an M.2 here. We also have room to add additional storage, which is something you want to do. If this is a gaming laptop, if this is a laptop because you're a content creator, which you can be a content creator with this laptop because it does have the RTX 2060. You want that additional storage. You want a place where you can drop your game files or your video files or your picture files. Wi-Fi chip right there. We have a 1650i. Then we have the RAM, which is upgradable. I would recommend no more than 32 gigs, and actually, unless you're doing some really intense stuff, anything more than 32 gigs is absolute overkill. Okay, so we did all the updates, and what I was worried about was streaming performance, download speeds. My previous experience with Dells were that download speeds were an absolute pity unless you went into Killer Control Center. And if we go into Killer Control Center, you'll see Advanced Stream Detect is turned on. For some users, and we've had some threads on Reddit, for some users, turning that off actually boosted internet speed. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. You go into Killer Control Center, we go over to settings, and then you can turn Advanced Stream Detect on and off. Now, for those who are wondering what Killer Shot Pro is, and this is actually grayed out, but once we connect an Ethernet, this will allow the option to toggle on and off. And what this is going to do is allow you to use both Ethernet and Wi-Fi at the same time. And the system's going to go ahead and give you massive amounts of throughput. So that's what Killer Double Shot Pro is. You need to have your Ethernet and your Wi-Fi going at the same time. So next up, let's go into the Alienware Command Center, because this is where you can change your performance settings, and most importantly, for a lot of people who are scratching their heads like, how do I change the RGB on my G5, my G3, my G7. The way to do that, first and foremost, is to go to Effects. And once in Effects, you want to click Edit. Now, once in Edit, you want to click All Zones. Now, mind you, there's 2 segments to this. I could change the color of the LED strip, which is right here, or I can toggle and click the keyboard. And when I click the keyboard, I can then select all keys. Now we want to change the effect to color. And when we change that to color, we can then choose a color here. And as you guys can see, the keyboard change colors. Now it is 4-phase zone or 4 zones. So if we go ahead and click center, we can change this to blue, and we can then click the right and change that to yellow. And you guys can see we're just changing colors. We're changing colors of different phases. It's a little confusing how you do this because you have to make sure that one section's toggled on before you move on over to the next section. So section 2, we change that to blue, and now you can see the array of colors I have here. So we have the red, the blue, and the yellow. You go ahead and change the colors on the system. On the main page, you're going to see thermal performance settings, and you can change this to cool, quiet, or performance. I leave this toggle down for performance. You have the Dell power management. You have balanced, high performance, and Dell. Dell has a special power management setting. I just leave it to high performance. And then audio. This is for if you're playing games or you're listening to music, you can actually change the dynamics of the audio. And this is pretty much what makes a Dell a Dell. We're going to compare this to the HP Omen 15. That's going to be our next video. We're going to see which device comes out on top. This will pit the Ryzen 7 against an Intel Core i7. I think people want to see that. If you want to see that, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. This is Gabe with ReviewDork. I'm signing out. Peace.